knot has to stay tight. If you pull this way, you pull one hair out of the knot and another hair out of knot gets loose, the whole hair goes out. Okay? So just simply snap it right here on the ring, and with your playing the hair and loosening and tightening it's decently hair, so it will not be a problem.
There was just another hair up here that it was like, I don't know.
OCD, huh? I know why I love her so much. I have OCD too. I think you're dreaming. I don't see another hair. But if it will show itself, we'll get rid of it.
Okay.
I took a test. There's like series of pictures and questions and whatever, half an hour. And they say if you scored above 70%, then you should have OCD. I scored 98. And I live in a house that is upside down, so it's but music helps. Aren't you hot in the jacket?
No.
No? Okay, good. In that case,
Do you have a shirt on underneath, Ella?
Yeah.
Maybe you should take it off.
you're welcome to keep it as it is, but if you will get hot, I don't like to be cold. I'm very weird Russian, but I was raised in Asia, so what can I do? But I like to play comfortable. It was always a problem to find me a tuxedo shorts because my shoulders are wide.
Mm-hmm.
And if I get the proper size for the shoulders, it's just all bulky. Okay, let me tune your violin real fast, and I have something other than normal planned for you. Okay, I want to start with Akalai, and I want to work on specific techniques. And also, have you ever taken your technology from the piece into the scale? It's okay if you didn't, because you didn't really reach the level.
I did that.
Okay, good. What I'm talking now about is in general. You are starting to get to the pieces that are long and complicated. Do not practice new technique on the concerto. Do you understand? If you have any problems, if you don't get the notes, you get the notes without any rhythm, without any slurs, just teach yourself the notes. You can play arpeggios and find all the shifts in as a part, like arpeggio and scales with broken notes. But if you have a bowing technique there that you're not quite getting, which you will find quite a few in that concerto, then you take it to the scale. Understand? All right, let's go. Akalai, from the beginning, I will be telling you some things that you could fix right on the spot or work on it, but I also want to show you places and things that you may take to the scale. Go. Okay, right away. Tell me, that you go on stage and you play with your heart, and when you practice, the heart has to be a little bit on the back and brain comes to the front. So what do you do when you play that first note? No, you don't. I'm not talking about philosophy. I'm talking about mechanics, really. When I go, what do you do? Do you play from the air or from the string? Do you understand the question? I'll show you. This would be from the air, and that from the string. Both are acceptable. I prefer from the string, but I had seen people doing, right? It's very emotional, but it's highly unnecessary and very dangerous. You can miss the first note of the piece and then think, sorry, right? You don't want to do that. So we start from the string. Now, you will have million of reasons why it should be vibrated before or should not be vibrated before. I prefer to find the pitch first and then color it, in most cases. It gives you clarity and stability. So this is what we need. Can you get me this? Not too bad, not too bad. Now I want to point out that when you play this thing, you do not play with force. What do you play with? Exactly. What a smart kid you've got there. Did she teach you or you just thought of that? Because you were absolutely right and I didn't even expect you to be right. Yes. How do you transfer the weight? When you put the bow down. Bow is heavy. All you have to do is to sit on the top of it. You don't need to hold the bow. You balance the bow and it's heavy already. And if your shoulder goes up, inevitably your fingers will clench on the bow, you will lift it and then press it down. That's what the pressure is and we don't want it. Understood? This is how you can find out whether you're relaxed or not. Can you do that? No, just sit it down and just do a little seesawing. Right, good. And make sure that your shoulders are completely down. Right, and then right. See, the bow is heavy. You don't really need to work on it. So attack the and as soon as you play, you engage your vibrato that you, Ella, want, but don't raise that shoulder for me. No, you just raise the shoulder, grab the bow and you play with force. I don't want the force and it's very scary, I know, but you have to learn how to let go. Right, now it was a little constipated because you got stuck. You have to be decisive in the beginning, move fast and then slow down or you will run out of the bow, right? So, get me that sound. Look at that shoulder, you're pressing and the violin is choking. You don't need to press, the bow is already heavy, go. Yeah, but the beginning of the speed has to be very, very clear, so it's like PUM! Ah. No, now you're attacking it from the air. Ah, that's better. Move a little faster and then slow down. No, faster speed, I mean. Right. Don't start vibrating until you play the note. Immediately once you started, you get and then you focus that really fast vibrato on that note. Go. Yeah, that's good. Only a vibrato. Don't get stiff, but teach yourself to vibrate fast. Otherwise, the power is not going to be enough. Remember, when we press 105% of acceptable, the fast vibrato makes it possible. Do you understand? This is the weight that I use to start the piece. If I will not have this woo vibrato, it will sound like this. See? I keep the string going with my left hand, but first I establish the pitch. So try one more time. Yeah, it's a very, very nice fake. And don't worry about it. What I'm trying to get out of you is hard, but the very, very first thing that has to come to that fast brain of yours, drop the shoulder blades. Go. Boom. Right. Also, if possible, don't play from under the violin. Right. Get your bow, that's right. And release the weight and go. No, it's undecisive. I have to have the speed there. Ah, that's the one. Now, what happens once you get here? What happens here? You tell me.
You switch hands.
Eh? No, I'm talking about bowing technique right now. You are on...
Yeah, you move your arms so your bow is straight.
That's a very good point, but there's something else. I want you to understand that I can teach you like a little dog. I can teach you to do the right thing without you understanding, but I think you are unbelievably smart for your age and I can do both. I can teach your head. Especially since your mama will probably help you to chew on that information and you will get it. What happens is once we move through the balance point, we're suddenly and rapidly losing the pressure because the bow becomes lighter, and nothing. So what we do, we turn the fork. I'll show you what I'm talking about. See, this is the fork. And then we turn like this. We don't do this. We just turn this. Do you understand what I'm talking about or not? Probably not. You see?
Oh my gosh.
See this right here and this right here. This is my fork. I can do this. See? I can press like that. Or I can just simply turn my hand and hang on it right there. The difference is, if I keep this position of the hand and just simply hang my weight of the arm down, I can still be flexible because all my joints are in the center. Are you understanding what I'm saying? If I do this, tension, 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 pain. Understood? I definitely do not want you, especially now that you start playing longer pieces, I do not want you to go like this. I want you to just hang on it. See? These are the two fingers that simply disallow the bow to go like this, but they don't press like that.
Reminds me of chopsticks because I don't know how to use them, so I'm just like,
This is a terrible sign in Russia, so don't do that, but if you bring a couple of chopsticks, I'll show you how to use them. Every violinist should easily use chopsticks, come on, it's your bowing. Anyway, so what I want now is to attack that note here. See where my hand is? It's not this way, and it's not squishing. It's hanging on these two fingers, and you remember what has to happen to the wrist at the tip of the bow, right? The right wrist.
it has to move, so
Move where?
it has to do that.
Yes, it has to go down to allow for this to happen. See, this is our hand right there, and we need to transfer that weight. Simply set, press down with that first finger, right? So if your wrist doesn't go there, that finger wraps around and the bow goes to your face, and we don't want that. We want past the middle, drop the wrist, and just hang on that bow with this. This part, a T. Do not turn it into something else. Okay? Alright, now I want you to do the same thing. You get back, you relax, you hang, and you attack. Then you get me a nice long note. Not bad, a little undecisive at the beginning, but not bad. Drop the shoulder before each one of them. Go. Vibrato is a little slow. You need go. And try not to touch right here, and relax. Don't touch these two fingers, so this joint can be allowed to move. Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, see how much wider the vibrato is right away. Now play the next note is B. Pretend that you're playing A minor scale. No. This is one of the great examples of how you can take the certain technology and not to mess up the concerto. You go like got it? Try a little bit. You don't even have to play the whole scale, but usually it's suggested to go up and down. That's just enough amount of medicine. Go. That's a little. No. Focus that vibrato. Drop the shoulder. Attack the note. Sing it powerfully. Next note. Drop the shoulder. There you go. That's better. Good girl. D. Oh, why is it suddenly so sweet and soft? Drop the shoulder. Okay. We prefer to play melodic minor. Do you know anything about it?
Melodic minor is the
Yeah.
on the 6th and 7th notes you raise it by a half step.
Yeah. And then you drop them down when you go down.
Yeah.
And I actually never had a romantic piece of music that was not written in the melodic minor. So we don't practice other kinds. We don't waste our time. No? Okay. So if you're an A minor, name the 6th and 7th steps for me. Right? Which notes?
F turns into an F sharp.
Very good. And G.
G turns into a G sharp.
Perfect.
And
Can you
A.
hear that?
Yeah.
Sing the next note. Good, because you played F natural. Okay? Now, let's start concerto and go switch back to the concerto. And in this piece, it's critical to play it very much in rhythm. How do you subdivide the count? Do you understand the question?
No.
Okay, it's fine. The piano accompanies you in triplets. That's what Miles is going to be playing. And when we rehearse for the recital, maybe if he is not overwhelmed completely, maybe I will ask him to play a little bit of Acolyte with you, so you would get the sense of it. He's the greatest. Anyway, since he's accompanying you in triplets, you need to count in triplets. So ya pa 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 dum ba da 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 dum dum da 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 dum. Do you understand? Now that's called subdivision because these are the big beats, and we divide each one into a triplet. And when we hit the dotted rhythm, we really ya pa 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 pa, we exaggerate the dottedness, and that makes this music so passionate. All right, let's go. Let's put it on. You know, not to touch the violin on the body, right? Neck and here. Try not to. Try not to. Someday, hopefully, you will have a fine instrument. I want you to preserve it. You will never find a single fingerprint on my violin. Mwah. Let's go. Yeah. Ah, the shoulder is up. You forgot. I'm not upset. It takes time, but try to remember. Now, movement has to be decisive and fast. Pum. And where is the sound? Remember, you have to hang that thing on. Stop. Tell me 4 rules of the vibrato. Remember them. You have to memorize them. You always vibrate the note before rest. You always vibrate the note after shift. You always vibrate syncopated note, and the top note of the phrase you vibrate with intensity, especially when you use the 4th finger. This is an example when you did not vibrate the note after shift, and that's why it sounded bad. You can apply these 4 rules onto whatever you play, and it will make you stronger. It's a big secret. Let's go. no sound, right? Especially as you go from here to here. What happens when you turn this way? What happens? Do you study any physics yet or not? Do you know what gravity is?
Yeah.
You have gravity on your side when you're right here. When you're right here, bow is weightless because it has absolutely no weight this way. Do you understand? So when you go this way, you have to hang the weight of your arm on it. Go. No, not undecisive. Move! Yeah. And engage. Drop the shoulder so you don't press. Just move using the weight and engage vibrato right away. Yes. Good. Stop. There's another rule. When you have a suspended note like this, this note needs more vibrato. Otherwise it sounds very awkward. Go to the next one. Same thing applies to the first note. Tom. Stop. Your fourth finger was actually decent in your vibrato, but then you put you must vibrate that note because it's a note before rest, but you do not jerk it. Go. No, don't need that one anymore. We're doing the second one. What can you tell me about this note?
That it's a sharp.
What else?
I don't know.
It's the lowest note on the violin aside from the open G string. It's a half position on the farthest string, so your hand is in an incredibly uncomfortable position and the string is long, so your vibrato is supposed to be really practiced on that note or it will be really, really miserable sounding. Go. Shoulders, weight, attack, vibrato, keep the weight. Okay, good. When you go here, where does the beat come? Here or here? Do you understand the question? This is beat. Listen. Or which one is correct?
First one.
Right. Which means we start to play this note before its time. Which means we have to steal time from the previous note. See? We have to get there. We have to cut the previous note short, get there quick, catch, and then engage in a normal beat on the top. See right there? I'm exaggerating, but you have to keep that in mind for all chords. You have to steal time from the previous note, and you decide how much. So show me. Just right there. Yeah, but you're lifting the bow. Do you see me lift the bow? You go squishato. No. See, remember that seesawing? We come here. Oh, you have have to do is allow the bow to go there, and it's okay, see? Do you understand, child? Good, try it. Get there and allow the bow to roll down. Then you will play your Bach. Right, but your arm needs to help it a little bit and wrist above and... Right, what's the point of breaking the slurs? Remember, we play first why do we break the slurs the second time?
So you have enough bow.
For what? We had enough bow to play it first time. And we played the base of the chord before the beat, which means we...
To the frog, so
No, no. Alright, listen. Or... What's the difference?
that sounds like I don't know how to.
In English would be good.
It sounds more legato and
Which one sounds bigger?
the second one.
That's why. I don't want to repeat the same phrase exactly the same way because it will be annoying. It has to change. It has to do something, and in this case, getting larger is more appropriate than getting smaller, especially since we have in the chord now. Do you understand? All right. And after that, since we broke the slur to use the bow, to have more bow, as you said, what do we need to do to use that bow?
I have a guess.
Please guess.
To put your bait in.
Maybe, but that's a secondary. What's the primary? Speed. We have to move that bow. Since we have it, we have to use it. Otherwise, what's the point? Understood? Try it. Do from the chord and move big bows. The whole bows, pretty much. Bite and bite and bite. But don't get stiff. Don't play like a baby dinosaur. Da, da, dee, move, vibrate. That's the idea. That's the idea. And now, someday, when you go down to vibrate fast and narrow, I want the next part to be a little more inward, more, not right? So I'm getting tired from everybody. All the... Can you show me that you have other feelings, right? So softly. That is suspended note, right? Which key are we in? What is our key? It's A minor, child. You were just telling me about F sharp and G sharp. So vibrate the suspended note wider and more expressively. Go. Okay. Do you really think that this is good? No. I didn't think so. So don't stop the vibrato, just decay the vibrato. Natural diminuendo. Go. that is definitely definitely on the G string. And it is in your music. And you didn't memorize the fingering, but you played well, but it's very silly. That's very silly, just and that brings us to another technology. Remember when we worked on the shifts? Do you still remember what kind of shifts we have? Come on, grumpy one.
I saw there is
Wasn't that Jewish shifts and
no,
Presbyterian?
Close. There is one that is
Russian
called
shifts,
and
proper.
right, proper and Russian. Well, some people call it Heifetz shift. It's very close to Jewish shift, right? Which one is this? Right. Why is it proper?
Because Russian shifts would go like immediately and would not.
Fine, I will go immediately. It's just ugly when you go immediately.
When you do a proper shift, you find a connecting note to the note.
Good thinking. Remember this, just like rules of the vibrato. You either shift on the old finger or you shift on the new finger. And that's the main thing. If I go here, that would be Russian because I shifted on my third finger on a new note. See? Or, and that's the difference. There's also many things with different bowing and blah blah blah, but that's the basics. In this case, you shift proper. So, where do you go with that second finger of yours? Oh, please answer correctly.
Fourth position.
Since when is the E with the third finger on the G string played in the fourth position? The answer is no. Again. But I'm very pleased that you didn't say that you just go to D. You go to the position, only it's a third position. Do you understand? Show me. No, just a shift. I need this and I need you to find the D and drop your finger without any additional movement in your hand. None. Go. Yes, your hand did a little move. It's pretty good, but you're moving additionally, you shouldn't. See this one? I move and I enable my fingers to play everything in that position. So one little move, all notes are mine. You move and you have to adjust for each note. Titanic, ridiculous work. That's good, but it's a little flat, so it has to be opened a little bit, right? One more time. Good. And now play for me. What is moving my hand? Another question. When I play, huh?
I have two guesses.
Please, fire them.
Your wrist or your fingers?
None is correct.
Okay.
Most of the people say that it's here because I'm closing, which is kind of true, but it's only true if I play like this. If I'm playing here, this is what's moving me. Vibrato, right. The shift's supposed to be act of relaxation and not the act of the force. And unfortunately, 99 out of 100 teachers don't teach that. But you have to understand. When you vibrate, your hand is moving back and forth like this. And you border it like ping pong ball, ting, 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 remove one, and it goes. You have to allow your hand to go and then control when to stop it. And that's all. Do you understand? So I want you to do this for me. I want you to play that note and move somewhere without stopping the vibrato. Just let vibrato take you God knows where. Go. Up bow is better. Yeah. Up bow. Right. Yeah. You force yourself still. Just allow that move. Launch. Go. Like a rocket. Go. Correct. Now I can see that you're free. Now you see, I would never stop the vibrato. I don't vibrate when I move. I ride on a wave like a surfer. But as soon as I'm here, I transfer that into this. See? That's very, very nice, but it's a Russian shift because you indeed went into the fourth position as you insisted before. I think she's trying to pull the Jewish into the proper. So this is possible, but not okay here. See? Up, boom, go. It's third finger. Do you understand? So you have to realize the shifts. You have to realize this, and I didn't think that I will have so many things to tell you about just the first few notes, but let's jump. Remember the now. Did you get a chance to practice it since Thursday or not? Fine. Do you remember the marcato exercises that I show you or not? Okay, let's do this. See? Very relaxed, but stay on the string. Go. And don't go fast. Go.
Look at me.
Go. That's the first step. We do a little bit of everything. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, everything. Not so much fingers. You don't need that much fingers. Fingers just finishing touch. The energy comes from your arm. Frog. Every elbow brings you so your first fingers are crossing the string. See, right there. Go. You okay? Alright? Go. Use the arm too. That's good. Arm too. Good. And this way you could play a scale. The next one is with the lifts. You go. Unleash the weight into the string. Don't grab it. Drop the shoulder. Very good sound. And now I want you to play really free your hand. Yeah, your bow is going like this. It has to go straight. So for that, go this way. Very good. And that is definitely what you need to practice on the scale going. I am not forcing anything. It's just natural weight of my bow on the string. Allow your weight. Go. Stop. Anybody can do. I want you to get to the frog. Drop the shoulder. Good. Relax the shoulder. Stop. That's another issue. If shoulder is up, she forces it from here. If shoulder is down, she can use the arm. She has to engage a little bit of everything. Here. Everything. Go. Drop the shoulder. Good. And once you practice this, you can go. very free bow hold. Do not hold the bow harder than this. Pop, pop, pop. No, you're holding the bow. That's why you
So
can't.
my pinky keeps slipping because it's sweaty.
Okay, very good question. What happens with the pinky? You tell me. Don't tell me it's sweaty.
Mm,
Why is it slipping?
because I'm pressing on it.
No, because it's overbent. See? My pinky is in charge. My pinky is no longer in charge. If your wrist is not brought for the kiss and stuck right here, it will slip the pinky. Right here, bring your wrist to your nose. Some teachers actually make students touch their nose. Robin Sharp does, I've seen it. So you come up, oh, touch the nose and go down. And this way your pinky is not going to be sleeping anymore. Right. And it will take time. I had students leaving my technique class at the Crowden because they could not get it in like a couple of months. It's difficult, but you will get it. So don't assume that if you didn't get it tomorrow, there's something seriously wrong with your slippery pinky. It's difficult. Understood? Okay. Also doing all the Shevchiks is going to solidify that technology. It's all big part of it. Okay? Now let me hear your song that you're going to play for the recital. Drop the shoulder, use the weight and don't use the pressure. Good. Very nice. Okay, good. Nothing is wrong. You sound good, but I really don't like the empty sound of open string. Can you vibrate that note? No, that's beautiful. But how about you play open string and still vibrate it? Yeah. And then the next note will be just this. Totally.
Yeah.
Yay, go.
Come over again.
Nah. Go on. Beautiful. Get bigger. Nicely done. Relax your bow hold. Weight, not pressure. Beautiful. Okay, very, very good. I need to tell your mom something. She's religiously keeping the shoulder. You know what? You're one of the very few students who actually moves out of the way when I try to talk to them. The rest of them like, you're making a bad window, get out.
You want to know how to fix that?
How?
Oh, well, let's play a game. See who wins.
No.
See if you can make it all the way through. I'll give you 5 points. If you can make it all the way through the piece without lifting up your shoulder.
No. See, what I'm trying to tell you that she actually watches over the shoulder. She did not raise it once during this piece. Perfect. But remember what happens if this is perfect. If the shoulder goes up, elbow goes down, and vice versa. Elbow goes down, shoulder goes up, and the player is a little baby dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
In a couple of places, she goes down with the elbow, but she doesn't bring it back up when she crosses strings back.
Mm-hmm.
So, just to watch over it, please do not overdo. This is by far worse than this. I know some great players that play with specifically low elbow. It's a technique. I don't like it because it's harder. Because it's harder to move straight when you are like this. But her point is that she used to be like that and she used to be semi-balanced in the wrong way. Now her shoulder is down and elbow is a little too low because of that. Because elbow used to bring this into the higher position. Now it has to stay. And when she plays normally, she's fine. Then she goes down like she plays a chord, and then she comes back as a little goose. Do you understand? You don't need to repeat anything, but just keep an eye on it. You are still in a yellow, but not really in a green. Okay? Go tom pom right there. Ah, child, what are you doing with your shoulder rest?
I don't know.
Grow faster.
Why?
Because the best shoulder rest in the world, they don't make them for little violins, only for the big ones. And maybe I don't want to waste time now, but I glue those things. You see what they did? Hold this for me, please. They made it flexible, but they don't stop. Koreans made a knockoff of the same shoulder rest, and when the pressure applied, it locks itself and stops from wiggling. This makes sense, right? Violin, shoulder. This doesn't. Shoulders are not going this way, and when it goes like this onto the shoulder, it just snaps itself off. So what I do, I take like a crazy glue. Don't do it yourself, you need to know how. Right. And I just lock these turns in the position that she needs. But don't want to deal with this now. So for now, just catch your shoulder rest. Maybe next Thursday we could stay after your lesson and we'll glue it for you. Go. Pom, 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 pom. That's fine. Yeah, that's totally acceptable and it's a beautiful sound, but once you are doing that slide into the harmonic, you might as well sell it just a little bit slower. Not the right? It's up bow, child. What's with you and up bows? What is forgetting? What are you forgetting? No. When you hear and you put vibrate, and then simply open your finger. Up bow. Yes, go on. Play it beautifully and go on. Two, three. Good girl. No longer. Move the note, drop the shoulder. Vibrate every note. Vibrate. Remove those joints. Good girl. Arm vibrato. Drop the shoulder. Let's go. But play in the core and watch the elbow. Watch the elbow. Grow bigger. Now whole bow, that's a really strong sound here. Nice. Okay, I like that. I really like that. You play a really beautiful sound, but it's like one beautiful note, another beautiful note, another one. Can they be connected? See, how do I connect them? Yes. I do not drill it and stop. I just go. I just can never stop the vibrato. Go. Don't rush. Enthusiastic one. Yes, camera. Last note is exactly the same note as the first note of Akalai concerto. Meaning, you have to be brave. You can crush that note if you want from the air, but you establish pitch first and then you vibrate intensely or you will choke, which you did. You played with great passion, but only you would enjoy the note like that because the audience will hear the scratch. So play for me the last note. Pom. See, it's still choking. Your shoulder is up, you pressing. Relax your shoulder, attack fast and then slow down and keep it going in the left hand. Right, as soon as you drop the shoulder, the sound was clear. It's like magic. And lift the bow up in front of you. Don't go down. No. You go. Don't jerk the bow at the end. Ow. Mwah, mwah. It's a bad taste. But collect the applause. Go, 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 go. You know, go for that peg. There you go. Get that peg, get that peg, get the peg. Yeah, there you go. Do you understand? You play very well. If you don't want to speed it up more in the last page, you absolutely do not have to. But you may want to try. What is one discomfort that you're experiencing there?
The question.
Uh-huh.
I don't get the question.
There is always one awkward moment right there as you switch from the previous music to that beautiful stroke that you've learned. I wonder if you...
The first two ones are like on the...
No. Open the music. You are doing very well. I'm very, very happy to see that. And we're going to be done with that piece very soon. Don't lose that piece. Make her sometimes, like maybe twice or 3 times a week, to recap the rep, because this is a good piece to keep. And she learned so much technology in this piece, and it's a fun piece to play. People come to visit, she plays. And from the moment I started with her, the rule of good students kicks in. Every year with me equals at least 10 minutes of music. Mignon can play 6-7 hours, no problem. She has difficulties deciding what is she going to play in the next recital. And she plays 3 recitals with VP, 2 recitals with the conservatory, probably her own solo recital, and she will change the pieces. It's crazy how much music the child has in the fingers, but of course she played here for 11 years. So. This is your first piece to really keep, do you understand? I think that Dankla that you played for Chian should also be resurrected at some point and kept. It's a beautiful piece, and the piano part is very easy. So if a friend comes who plays piano, people will enjoy playing it with her because she's musical and virtuosic, and it's fun. She's fun, right? Let's go. Come here and look. When you play pam 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 pam, what is happening right here?
I get to the frog.
You don't. That's the problem. See? When you were playing here, you're... That's the problem, see? Yeah. I do get. I gradually go myself. So basically, this I'm already on the frog. Do you understand? Start from right there and go. Good girl. Beautiful sound. 1, 2, 3, and get to the frog. That's the idea, understand? And that's the point. If you can keep it that way, then we're in business. There's basically nothing else that I want to tell you. You're doing all good. You know, that is a little bit, tiny little bit insecure still when you... It's not easy to play that way. And you're doing fine, but not great. Right? So don't freeze your hand. If you decided to give it a little love, how do I shift down? What moves my hand down? Exactly. Yes. If I will have to fight vibrato, stop it, and then go down the hand, and if it's frozen and go and that is a huge waste of energy. When I can, you don't have to slide if you don't want. You just lighten up and you go spooky, you know. Understood? The rest is really, really good. Don't use too much bow in the beginning. Right here, you went, and it went into this nasty sound, you know? I don't want you to play quiet, by all means. Miles is really loud there. Oh boy. Stop. And that brings us to the very last thing that I will tell you. Just like here, at the very end, every child has a problem with this note. It's always flat. Can you please make sure that you're in A major and not in something else? Right. And don't forget to bring your elbow back as you go from the first floor to the fourth floor. No, your elbow got stuck. Look, you play from your... Bring it up. Right. Tactical understanding, especially for strong notes, whether she does it from the air or from the string, is critical. Good to learn both, and then she has to make a decision. I honestly don't care if she goes or she goes, but she has to choose one. You cannot mix. My teacher used to say, don't mix drinks and strokes.
Just
And-
rock.
Bowing.
Oh.
So you're going. She knew about drinks.
Yeah.
Because of Larry.
Or same difference, but it has to be one or another and not mixed. Do you understand, child?
Yeah.
You did very, very well, and you are still doing. Akalai will be difficult, but we will learn it. You will learn tons of technique, and I'm pretty sure that we will probably learn another piece before January.
Okay, but I
Okay.
don't have the last page about
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. That's the most fun page, so I wanted to learn the rest of it. And then it's every kid learns it like instant.
And then that enharmonic.
Unharmonic.
The harmonic before the da 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 da.
Ah, okay. All right. Anyway,
That harmonic.
I will give you the page maybe the next time or whatever, but you need to learn the stuff before it. Especially this part. That is really, really, really hard. And it has to just flow. And if she's practicing this part, the key for that is half bow, whole bow.
Okay.
Half bow, whole bow.
What is wrong with you? Shoulder rest.
I wish I was a little younger. I would want to play violin. You make it so much fun.
I hate technology. Yeah, everybody laughs when I say that. But I just realized that when you do the right technology, you can enjoy the music. I can let my soul and my muscles and my heart do what I feel because I don't have to struggle and practice extra.